Hello there and welcome along. The Gardener Ben here. Now you will have to excuse my appearance. Unfortunately, I am absolutely filthy. I've used a little break in the weather here on the Tri-County border to get out into the garden and do a little bit of task that I knew that was going to need to be done after the weather we've had. Something that gets talked about an awful lot, but I realised I hadn't refilmed this video for you for around 4 years. And as I was doing the task in the garden, I thought I would take the opportunity as it started to rain once again to get undercover and just talk to you a little bit about deadheading and, more importantly, balling. Now, this is not something that really can be avoided in the garden. It's something that happens when a rose gets wet. And now we all cross our fingers, we all do our work, and we all make sure we mulch and we feed and we tend and we prune, and we really hope that everything is going to be fine. And then, of course, as soon as our first flowers open, we have all of the weather that we hoped we were going to have in March and April, and down comes the rain, and you end up with a big soggy mess like this. Very, very basically, balling happens when a rose is, well, it's not just a rose, it actually happens to other flowers such as peonies as well. Generally, things that have a high petal count, very, very fine petals, very close together. And it happens as soon as the bud opens. If water gets between those petals, what it does is it sticks those petals together. The flower continues to try and open, and the flower can't open. So you end up with this sort of very distorted look. This one is Benjamin Britten from David Austin Roses. Some particular varieties are worse than others. I've got Sceptred Isle just here as well, all actually entombed in itself. And what happens is the flower continues to push forward and try and swell open. The outer petals remain stuck, and you end up with something that looks very much like this, a really horrible, wet, soggy mess like a marshmallow. You quite often turn these upside down and loads of water will come out of them. If you wanted to, you can go around the garden, you can actually massage them, just break them apart, loosen the outer petals, and the flower will generally actually open and burst forward for you. As a general rule, unfortunately, they look a little bit manky, as you can see here. I mean, this one is particularly unattractive, all the outer petals stuck together there with water. If I peel them away, they will come away. But you get this with the roses with very, very high petal counts or very fine petals. So varieties that are particularly bad for this are, as I say, Benjamin Britten, Sceptred Isle. The Wedgwood rose is particularly bad. Claire Austin is another one from David Austin, unfortunately, which is particularly susceptible to this. And you kind of pray and you hope and you cross your fingers that you're not going to get inclement weather that comes through at the time that flower is just at that point where it's getting to open and that water can get in. Now, what your plant needs you to do at this stage, needs you to be brave, and it needs you to put your big gardener pants on and get out there and make the decision for it. Something like this is not only particularly unsightly, it's carrying a lot of water, it's going to turn to mush, and it's going to actually rot on the plant, causing a possible point of disease problem with the plant. What you need to do is you need to get out with your secateurs, your fruit nose pruners, and you need to remove this bud, completely take it away and allow the other ones to open up. This is obviously sometimes quite upsetting. You've spent ages planning for the plant to actually produce flowers, and then you lose an awful lot of them. But there is no point in the plant wasting a huge amount of energy, putting energy and sap, water into this particular flower, because it's not going to open properly. It's going to look really unsightly. The other thing you can do, if you know you're going to get a bank of weather like we did do a couple of days ago, we had these thunderstorms we've got here on the south coast with forecast, you can obviously go out into the garden and cut larger flowers, things like the Princess Alexandra of Kent or LD Braithwaite, which are particularly bad when it comes to snapping in the wind. Take them, cut them and take them into the house. But balling is something that I say, not that something that can be really avoided, but your plants really need you to get out and deadhead these and remove these flowers, because so there's absolutely no point in the plant continuing to put energy into this. Just remove them, take that flower head off as if it had been pollinated, and move on to subcentenary flushes of flowers later on. If you need any help whatsoever on the subject or more water resistant roses, do drop me a comment below and I'll send you in the direction of some information of videos I've created in the past. But do get out in your garden and remove any spent flowers just as quickly as possible. There's no point in just allowing these to turn to mush. So get rid of them, got them on the compost heap, and move on to another display of blooms in the next week or two's time. I hope you enjoy your time in the garden over the weekend, or if you are suffering rain like we here on the south coast, enjoy your time resting and doing something else. I'll see you all again soon. Take care now. Bye bye.